All right, we are live. We are live, ladies and gentlemen. Same routine as before and stuff. As you come in here, give me a quick sound check. Let me know if you can hear me okay. I know I am 8 minutes late. I said I was going to go in at 1. All right, Brandon Hicks, you are first. Can you give me a sound check? Let me know if I can be heard at the audio and video. Okay, all right, we are good. Okay, all right. Sorry I am late, but there was an accident out here on the highway, which kind of threw me back a little bit and stuff. But we're here now, so um, all right. What's good, Mr. Robinson? All right, Mr. Clarence. Thank you again. Let's see. Before I get started, man, I want to give a great big shout out. I want to give a great big shout out and stuff. I was talking about him last week. Trucker named Jay. Um, he posted up. All right, Trucker B11. 1111. Okay, sorry about that. See where he is a certified. He's a certified instructor for the state of Virginia, which is no small feat. I mean, Virginia is one of the toughest states to get a commercial driver's license in, and he's a state certified instructor. He was talking about it a couple months back and stuff. And of course he had those health complications or whatever and stuff. But for the most part, he stayed low key and he posted up where he's a certified instructor. So this is going his content is going to be very interesting, because he has made some very questionable decisions, as far as like what he was going to do and stuff like that. But again, 4 years in the game and seeing this guy come from CRST. It's his first couple of videos, I believe he wrote with Trucker Brown, and they went down to Loshine House and stuff. And so, from there, he went to the school and stuff like that. And so, here we are 4 years later, he's an instructor for the state of Virginia. So that just shows that, a person's determination and will, you put your mind to it and stuff, man, you could become and do anything. So I hope that this works out for him and stuff where he's able to be home with his family, be home with his family and stuff like that. Cause I believe that was one of the drawbacks and stuff of him making his decisions in trucking, and also um, the money. Sometimes he would make money, sometimes he wouldn't, but for the most part, again, great big shout out to him and stuff, and hope he keeps that content rolling out because we all can learn something, And with him being a certified instructor and stuff, for those that hit me up and stuff that may be interested in trying to get into the industry and stuff like that, I have some point of reference now and stuff. Say, hey, check this guy out here. So yeah, so that's the thing. There, just want to give a shout out to him. Um, what else I was going to talk about? Um, the Wright brother went live yesterday. The Wright brother, he went live yesterday and stuff, and so what he was talking about again was rather interesting. But I guess from a you look at it from a 40 a 40-year-old perspective. You look back 20 years and say, well, hey, I wish I would have somebody would have told me and stuff. This back then and stuff. And so you look now and say, well, hey, I would be better situated. But that's I guess that's anything when you look back. When you look back at it 5 years, 10 years, and say, well, daggone, I wish I would have stayed committed to this, that, or whatever. And that's fine and wonderful. But the thing is that when I look back at it, like, before I got into trucking, before I got into trucking, I used to work for the state. And so, me being 20, I was 20 years old at the time and stuff. When you graduate high school, when you graduate high school, you get out of school, your options are very limited. I know that one thing you can't do, you can't go and just say, all right, I'm gonna go work for the state or work for the federal or something like that, unless you go into something like um, law enforcement. If you go into law enforcement or if you go into the military, and but as far as like something business clerical, whatever stuff like that, work for the IRS or whatever, those things come later. But I mean, to get into it in your 20s, man, I mean that's almost impossible now. I mean, it used to be, back in the day and stuff like that, but um, even with working for the state, a lot of people think they got a lot of good benefits and stuff like that, and I mean that wasn't the case. When I was um, I went in as a correctional officer and stuff, and so 3 months in the job, the first thing that they cut was, well, they didn't cut the medical, but they had a basic medical plan, and you didn't have to pay anything for it. And then they went from not paying anything to paying $90 a month. And so, you know, um, if anything, I won't say securing a good job is something that needs to be emphasized and stuff like that. I would say ownership would be the biggest name in the game and stuff now. Like, to get a house now, to get a house, man, you're talking about 30 years. It's a 30-year mortgage for a house. And especially when you look at it from a trucker's perspective and stuff, you say, well, all right, so you done bought a few trucks. So you done bought a few trucks and trailers, and then you looking like, man, hey, I had over, you know, this stuff is valued over 300,000, and then you talking about buying a $90,000 house with a 30-year mortgage. Like, man, wait a minute, hold up. You got to kind of change the game up a little bit, cause I believe that if you were to buy a house, right, and get the deed to the house, you got everything paid off. That will, I believe, knock out about 70% of what you have to do and stuff. I mean, as far you're gonna have a light bill, stuff like that come in, your yearly taxes and stuff, but nothing more, nothing more. As far as like a bill or whatever and stuff like that, I don't see anything bigger than a mortgage or whatever, mortgage or your rent, and then you don't have that no more and stuff. So like, but see, to ascertain ownership early when you talk about in your 20s, talking about, all right, yeah, I'm buying my first house, and then in 30 years, okay, you 50, you know, you're not old, but you ain't young either and stuff. But man, shoot, now you talking about some of us, man, 40, 50 years old, getting into our first home and stuff like that with a 30-year mortgage, man. I mean, come on, who we fooling, you know? Uh, I don't have no kind of immortality. I don't have any kind of I'm not immortal. I know that. So it ain't no sense of me even talking about uh, it ain't no sense of me even talking about and stuff, that sort of living forever, that sort of thing there. But anyhow, you know, that's my takeaway from this stuff, man. I say, man, ownership of anything and stuff is of the utmost importance, and I think a home especially, you know, a home especially. I mean, a business, yeah, but so anyway, man, hey, what's going on with you guys and stuff, man? I mean, it's still a Q and A and stuff. I mean, if you got any questions or whatnot and stuff, or If you want me to elaborate on anything and stuff, just put it on out there. As long as it's trucking. As long as it's trucking, cause I don't want to be anything. I don't want to get into anything else and stuff. Try and get these gloves off here. Hold on, fellas. Let me get this glove off. Jeez. Okay, there we go. All right. Yep. There we go. Yep. So, let's see. What else has been going on this week? They are talking about the coronavirus. They talking about the coronavirus and stuff is going to be affecting a lot of import. And again, I don't go into the specifics and stuff as far as like who brings the content because a lot of the people that bring this stuff out they're not very reliable. They just say things based upon speculation, and then next thing you know, everyone else is all on it. Like, hey man, oh, trucking's gonna be messed up because this coronavirus and stuff, and so but that's what they're saying is that a lot of the imports and stuff, and it's going to be affecting a lot of the port work, like Georgia and over there in LA and stuff. They saying the stock market has also taken a beating because of the coronavirus being now in the United States and stuff. They saying that a lady in Raleigh, this lady showed the symptoms and stuff, and so they have her hospitalized in Raleigh now and stuff, and so you know, but people have been speaking on that too and stuff like that. So I mean, I don't know if they've been saying anything to you guys, or you've been picking up on and stuff like that. But again, it's just some of these sources out here are very questionable, and I don't know and stuff. I mean, this may be something that trickles down a little bit slowly, just like that recession of last year. Um, I didn't really start feeling it in 2000. I didn't, people was talking about it in 2018 and stuff, but it was in, I believe in March of 2019. That's when I started feeling it. I'm like, man, shoot, because at first I thought it was a joke. Like, man, hey, it really ain't too much of a slowdown over here. And then, as time progresses, like, man, um, a lot of these brokers just became very bold and said, you know what, hey, this is what's going to be. It's either take it or leave it. You could be on the load and stuff and be right there in mid stride. And they say, you know what, found somebody that can do it cheaper, and will tell you that I found somebody that can do it cheaper and stuff. So we're going to take you off the load, So, but yeah, just 2019, I definitely started feeling that all the way up to around June, late, no, not even June. About middle part of July, and stuff, and but yeah. So they talking about the coronavirus. So don't know. We'll just keep an eye on that and stuff like that. Um, do you guys? Let's see. What's that publication called? Freight. Y'all heard this place called Freight Waves, right? I'm pretty sure anybody on Facebook and stuff probably done seen them, but Freight Waves. Do y'all trust them as a reliable source for trucking publication? Cause I mean, some stuff they be on point about, and then it's just some things like kind of questionable and stuff. And so I mean, they seem to be all right and stuff. But it's just I'm just kind of on the fence and stuff. I said, well, I don't know. I ask, I get around to it and stuff. I'll ask and see if anybody know any more information and stuff. Somewhat. Okay. All right. Well, yeah, that's the same way I feel, man. I'm just sitting on the fence and stuff. I'm like, I mean, I don't know if they like I said, some stuff they say be on point. Some stuff, man, just like, hey, that's it's a little far fetched, man. I don't know, you know. And when you start doing stuff like, you know, you start doing stuff like that, man, I can't really trust you as especially as a reliable um, source of information and stuff. I mean, we're all looking for it, but you know, I don't feel anybody has to. You know, you don't have to lie about anything, man. Just hey, just let it be what it's going to be and stuff. If you know it's a lie and stuff, I mean, don't put it out here, especially the people that we don't get a lot of. We don't get a lot of up to date current events and stuff as opposed to somebody that can sit in front of a TV all day. Cause they say, well, yeah, well, you can go on your phone and Google it or whatever, and they'll get updates and stuff like that. But they ain't always the case. They do research sometimes. I feel overall it's okay. All right, well, okay, but yeah, we just don't get a lot of current events, up to date current events until we stop and get a chance to scroll through some things and stuff, and then or either if you just happen to be, you just happen to be in the truck stop and stuff like that. And I mean, even then, they don't have it. They might have it on the Weather Channel one place, CNN another place, Fox News another place, whatever. But it's just we don't get as quickly as we should and stuff. TBE, what's up, bro? All right, we doing okay. We doing all right. So I don't know, but that seemed to be the more popular. That seemed to be the more popular current event. Current event people and stuff as far as trucking is concerned and stuff like that. I always get stuff from Freight Wave. I'm like, you know, I want to give you the benefit of the doubt, man, but it's like, come on, man. You gotta stick with the real, but stick with it all the time. Um, see, so what else is going on? What else is going on? I had a chance to check that. I had a chance to check that guy out and stuff. Chase and Andrew be talking about. And shout out to Chase and Andrew. Um, I had the guy Fu Money. I had a chance to check him out. Fu Money and stuff, man. I'm gonna tell you what, man. That's a very lucky dude. I mean, you go from a 1980 Kenworth. You go from a 1980 Kenworth and stuff to a 379. Going to get this truck this week. I'm a little nervous. Hey, I totally understand. I totally understand you and stuff. Is just listen, just that nervousness and stuff, man. That just it's really kind of anxiousness or whatever and stuff. But just like I was talking to Bama and stuff today. I mean, a few days ago and stuff. Was talking about he was ready to make the move and stuff like that. It's yeah, it's that anxiousness and stuff. I mean, you hear all the bad stuff and you say, well, shoot, I hope that don't happen to me. But what if it doesn't? What if it's about failing? Not always throw stuff up like, man, shoot, I'm over here. I'm spending 15, $16,000 to get something, 15, 16 grand to get it fixed. And then, you get this fixed and then something else come up and you like, dude, how much money do I really need? And um, it's a possibility, but you know, having just having a good steady plan and stuff it's even better, cause when you got a plan, you can move towards what you need to move towards and stuff. Cause I mean, like I said, my situation and stuff, it came, what, 9 months. So it gave me 9 months of preparation, and I knew what the solution I knew what the solution was and stuff, but I was just denying myself. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be an exception to the rule, and maybe there is a way and stuff to where everything can be on the up and stars as far as repairs, and you know, people can just be saying stuff just to be saying stuff. But I've learned that was definitely not the case. It's um that particular issue there and stuff. Dealing with emissions, that's a real big deal, and so you got to have um somewhat of a plan and stuff, especially if you got, I got a year in and stuff like that, you know. So eliminating this certain issue here and stuff is just going to eliminate the problem entirely. So, and that was definitely the case and stuff for me. It's just by doing that surgery, I didn't have any more issues and stuff dealing with that. Even though there were some issues that come up, you figure when you got good, when you running consistently, your business is doing good and stuff. If something comes up, then you take care of it. A $500 repair, a $800 repair and stuff. But then the space in between the repair is like 4 or 5 months, you know, and it's still not putting you down on the side of the road and stuff like that. So you figure, okay, yeah, that's manageable. That's manageable and stuff. And so that's really what trucking is. It's just you're gonna have a lot of good months where everything is on the up and up, but you're just gonna have your normal wear and tear. It's just don't wait to the last minute when you know that when you know it's a problem. Don't wait to the last minute and stuff. Just go ahead and jump on it, you know, before it becomes a problem to you. Okay, well, let's go and get the tire change. You know, let's get this belt change. Cause you identify what the problem is, but you just deny to take care of what has to be taken care of, and then now it becomes a problem when you're stuck on the side of the road where it really wouldn't cost you nothing, by just saying, all right, I'm gonna take a little downtime, take care of this, take care of that, be done with it. Yep, you'll be okay. But yep, that dude. But man, I mean, to go from a Kenworth to a 379 Pete, man, on your first and second hit. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I like those trucks and stuff, man. It's just, dude.